Trump is ordering pizza again, cause yesterday the Pentagon Pizza Index increased by 17 倍. And everyone knows, 代际大条的时候, we eat 爆米花, but for the Pentagon, they eat pizza. And it looks like Xi Jinping is about to lose another good friend. And you think Trump is behind all of it? Because Xi Jinping's worst nightmare ain't orange, it's the little Cuban man standing right next to him. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
And now, if you don't know, now you know.
So, 准备你的 pizza and 你的爆米花 because again, Xi Jinping 代际大条咯。So, for the past 2 days on Threads and X and especially on Reddit, everyone is shitting on one man, Donald Trump. But that ain't nothing new, because in 2025, where the 小彩虹 moral high ground was Gaza, in 2026, the new moral high ground is Venezuela.
Hands off Venezuela! Hands off Venezuela! Free President Maduro! La lucha sigue! Libertad, socialismo o muerte! Venceremos!
So for those who don't know, that goofy white is trying to speak Spanish, but he ain't doing it so well. It should be Libertad es socialismo o muerte. This one's a cultural appropriation, ma. I'm
organized with the Revolutionary Communists of America. We're out here to say hands off Venezuela. And we unequivocally stand with the people of Venezuela against U.S. imperialist aggression.
What do you think about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets?
What?
What do you think about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets today?
I saw images of Venezuelans being bombed after the U.S., bombed Caracas. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, I think you should.
Can you show me the bombings that you're talking about? I didn't see any.
I just saw it on Reddit. It was on the front page of
Reddit.
So where before orange was the new black and then pink was the new black, apparently now Venezuela is the new Gaza.
Image is everything. Image is everything.
So these fools don't even know what Venezuelans want. They probably can't even spell it or even find it on a map. And they for damn sure don't even know who's responsible for all of this. The MPC 小彩虹 default factory settings is to blame the YMCA orange man. But the real person behind it all is someone that China, Cuba, and Venezuela all hate in their bones.
On foreign policy, America continues to be indispensable to the glow of global liberty.
Introducing Secretary of State Marco Rubio, aka Lil Marco, aka Mario's best friend, Rubio.
It's me, Rubio.
Bruh, Lil Marco is the architect behind the entire Maduro Venezuela operation. Trump just gave the order. After all, he's just the White House orange-faced mascot. But Rubio is the team leader of them hitters. He's the one who actually gets his hands dirty. Shit, I'm willing to bet Trump didn't even know about the operation until the night of.
Mr. President, we got him.
Got who? My good friend Xi Jinping?
No, not yet. But we got his good friend, Maduro.
Oh, well, can I tweet it now?
Out of Trump's entire cabinet, Marco Rubio is the ultimate CCP hater. He's been wanting to f them up for a long time, to the point where Xi Jinping even got scared and banned his ass from China.
The Chinese Communist Party, on the other hand, cannot conceive of a world that's not driven by status and hierarchy. They are not partners. To the Chinese Communist Party, power serves no purpose but to strengthen the party's rule and to spread its influence around the world. And for them, those who deviate from the party's expectations deserve to be sent to forced labor camps where they toil on the party's behalf. China is an untrustworthy partner in any endeavor. They have flagrantly violated international agreements and obligations on Hong Kong, on Taiwan. If China supplants America and the West, the world our children will inherit will be nothing. The world has reached a crossroads, one in which our inability to act will usher in a Chinese century, and that will have disastrous consequences.
And you know who Maduro hates the most of all? It ain't Trump. is Rubio. Cause Rubio's been trying to put that mustache nigga in chains for the past 10 years. And when it came to Maduro's response, he clearly watched The Godfather way too many times cause he actually tried to put out a hit on Secretary Marco Rubio.
It's startling news tonight. Senator Marco Rubio may be the target of an assassination plot by a senior Venezuelan government official. A memo from federal law enforcement officials detailing the threat traces the origins of the plot to Diosdado Cabello, the head of Venezuela's ruling political party. He's also suspected of controlling the Venezuelan military. The memo refers to the information as, quote, a potentially grave threat to Senator Rubio. Rubio has accused Cabello of drug trafficking in interviews and in Senate testimony.
He's not simply a political leader. He is, in my view, the Pablo Escobar of Venezuela today. He is a narco trafficker.
It was around the time of the hearing the security around Rubio was increased. The memo, which went through Homeland Security to local law enforcement agencies, states information about the threat is reliable and credible.
And after that, Lil Marco was pissed. But Xi Jinping Maduro never expected that a small-town senator would ever become Secretary of State. Crazy thing is, he may be on track to become the next president of the United States because his odds on Polymarket have doubled, placing him above Trump in chances to win. Although he's not Italian like Mario, this loves pizza.
It's me, Rubio.
After that failed hit, needless to say, Marco Rubio was pissed, and he responded with a $15 million bounty on Maduro's head, which eventually increased to $50 million, making it the largest bounty on a world leader in history. But despite all that money, no one dared to collect that bounty. So then, just 6 years later, a newly appointed Secretary Marco Rubio decided to send Maduro a fresh, hot box of democracy pizza via Apache helicopter.
Venga por mí. Aquí lo espera en Miraflores. No hace tarde llegar, cobarde.
And now, if you don't know, now you know.
And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
Interesting thing is, after Maduro's arrest, the Dow Jones hit its highest in its entire history. Seems like capitalism really likes democracy pizza. And also, as soon as Maduro got arrested in that Nike tracksuit, Nike's stock shot up and that tracksuit was sold out everywhere. So Nike, you might want to send Rubio a little kickback.
Did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved in it.
Sure. We call members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
Plus, if I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result.
Right now, it seems like Rubio is ordering pizza again.
Another one.
Now, everyone assumed Iran must be next. Even the Supreme Leader has already made plans to escape Moscow like a little bitch. But let me tell you, it's actually someplace much, much closer. Florida's friend and Rubio's old home, Cuba.
Is the Cuban government the Trump administration's next target, Mr. Secretary?
Well, the Cuban government is a huge problem. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Yes, I'm not going to talk to you about what our future steps are going to be and our policies are going to be right now in this regard, but I don't think it's any mystery that we are not big fans of the Cuban regime, who, by the way, are the ones that were propping up Maduro. His entire internal security force is entirely controlled by Cubans. One of the untold stories here, the ones who have sort of colonized, at least inside the regime, are Cubans.
Venezuela and Cuba have one very big thing in common. They are both completely run by the CCP, especially Cuba. Cuba is to America as Taiwan is to China. Even the distance is nearly the same.
Alarming new details surrounding the report that China inked a deal to build a spy base in Cuba that's roughly 90 miles south of Florida. And new this morning, a Biden administration official confirming China already has military and espionage facilities in Cuba and has been using them to spy on Americans for years.
The report highlights 4 recently upgraded electronic spying facilities in Cuba, including 3 near the country's capital of Havana. These facilities are located in the distant vicinity of at least 7 American military bases in the southeastern seaboard, including the USS Naval Base at Guantanamo Bay.
And while most people are not paying attention, this is happening just off the coast of Florida. The question is simple: why?
This satellite imagery shows a type of direction-finding apparatus called an elephant cage, or Villenweber.
So if they're trying to listen for an American submarine in that area, and the submarine comes up and it sends a burst communication, it'll be able to collect that information and find out the direction, and then they'll triangulate it by having listening posts other places that have a similar type of antenna. And then you could triangulate it and find out exactly where that submarine is.
So as you can see, China owns a lot of the Caribbean and all of Cuba. And that brings the question, what is all that spying for?
As the Donald Trump administration unveiled a national security strategy prioritizing the Western Hemisphere, a Chinese military wargame video depicting combat simulations in Central America and the Caribbean has been released, drawing significant attention. According to a report by Hong Kong media outlet South China Morning Post on the 24th, such footage unusually appeared in a Chinese Central TV broadcast on the 19th, which introduced a Chinese wargame event recently held in Xuchang, Henan province. In Chinese military wargames, red typically signifies friendly forces and blue signifies enemy forces, and through this they display forces like aircraft, ships, etc. In the video footage, red and blue markers were observed moving near the coasts of Cuba and Mexico. The red markers specifically were positioned in the vicinity of the Caribbean Sea, while some of the blue markers converged near Houston, Texas in the United States, before proceeding towards the Gulf of Mexico. A close-up view of Cuba displayed lines indicating the movement paths of both aircraft and ships, which the South China Morning Post suggested could potentially be a tactical operation simulation.
Now this was leaked just last month, 2 weeks ago to be exact. And I know quite a few of you in the comments might be thinking,
那个就是 war game 而已啊，他们只在装，他们玩游戏而已啊，中国根本没有动手啊。
Beijing is negotiating with the Cuban government to establish a new military training facility on the island, giving China a significant military footprint just 90 miles off the coast of Florida.
What we have seen is the PRC continuing to express interest in the Western Hemisphere. We know that they want to expand their military presence, and so we are going to continue to monitor that.
So you've got spy bases, you've got radars, you've got war games, and you've got a military base planned all right in front of America. It ain't just in their backyard, it's on their back fucking porch.
Do not fuck with us.
So in 2027, if Xi Jinping really makes his move, he can cause a lot of problems on America's back porch from Cuba. Maybe put some missiles, a nuke, or even another pandemic, putting America on defense, diverting their attention away from protecting Taiwan.
This is the biggest opportunity in a lifetime. I mean, this is huge what's happening right now. Once Maduro goes, the regime in Cuba will follow. And also, the Nicaraguan regime will fall. And for the first time in history, we will have the Americas free of communism and dictatorship, that we do have the support not only of the United States, the Trump administration, which we do, and we're so grateful to President Trump and to the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, but we have the support of American society. We know that.
Now this remarkable woman is last year's Nobel Peace Prize winner, the next possible candidate for the Venezuela presidency, and most importantly, Trump's very good friend. And based on what she said, Cuba is going to fall really soon. But not soon enough for the Republicans, because in just 10 short months, the midterms will be here. And if by then, Venezuela, Cuba, and Iran can all get their Mingzu pizza Waisong Fu, then the Republicans will be good for another 8 years.
We're gonna win so much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning.
And shit, who knows, maybe little Marco will become president of the United States. But that would mean Xi Jinping doesn't have any more friends. But you can be for damn sure Marco Rubio has a fresh, hot box of democracy pizza delivered by Apache with his name on it. So now you know.
And now, if you don't know, now you know.